There you are, you little rat. Where do you think you've been? I've been waiting for you for 2 days. That's a really long time. And I know we live for a very long time, but I have minimal patience. Like, less than that. Like, tiny, 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 tiny. Okay, so what have you bought for me? I'm starving. I'm not seeing anything. Why have you nothing to bring? Not even a rat's tail to just chew on. Nothing. You know, I turned you into a vampire because I need someone to go and do my errands for me. And if you can't even bring me back a simple little woodland creature, then why did you even bother coming back? You are weak, pathetic, useless, tiresome. And yet still, I just can't seem to get rid of you. So what is it? What is your grand excuse for disappointing me again? You have something in your eye. What do you think your ears are for? You know you can use those, but for some reason you lack the intelligence to understand that you don't just need to rely on your vision. Okay, well, let me take a look then, I suppose. It's a bit of dirt. What are we going to do with you? Oh, and you fell in a ditch, did you? Did it hurt your knee, did it? Yeah, did you scrape your knee? Stupid. Right, open your eye, you imbecile. This is going to hurt, by the way. A lot. Tiny speck of dirt. How can you be so incapacitated by little bits of dirt? God, you're so weak. I suppose the wind blew it in there, did it? God. Right. And the other one. Open. Wider. Wider. You really test my patience. I think you're actually more effort than you're worth. You know, you could have just cried it out. Yeah, actually, I haven't cried in a really long time. Maybe we can't. Though I feel like if anyone was going to, you would cry quite easily. Come back to me whimpering. You've cut your knee and you're dead in your eye. I think you might be the worst vampire that ever lived. And that does not look good on me. You know, my peers are going to be laughing about this because of you. They're going to think we're a joke. Well, you are a joke, but me, my reputation is going to be non-existent after this. So, not a word about this, okay? But I am still starving, so as soon as we sort your pathetic little problem out, you're going to have to go back out, okay? And to make it up to me, I want you to bring me back a lion because I'm really hungry. Yeah, you heard me. Because I am still starving. I want you to bring me back a nice, juicy librarian. They're my favourite. They usually have a little pocketbook on them of sorts that I can read. They carry around these little tiny pocketbooks, and they usually have something about horticulture or something, something that other people might find boring, but I like to read. Anyway, this is all the blood supply we have left, okay? Now I will give you a tiny amount when you go back out there, but you can't waste it. You can't have all of it, greedy. You can have a bit. Anyway, you still have something in your eye. It's been less than a minute. Do you have magnets for eyes? Gosh. You're lucky that I am most gracious and most patient. Because if anybody else would have turned you into a vampire, well, they would squish you under their boot. We can turn you into bugs. You might actually be more useful as a bug. What would you like to be? Perhaps. Not a worm, you idiot. You're less useful than a worm as you are now, and that's really useless. Oh, I can't believe you just said you want to be a worm. Ridiculous. I can't think of anything better than a worm. A dragonfly. Just don't speak. Just don't even speak to me. How's that? I can't believe, did you stick your head in the sand or dirt somewhere? Because you just seem to have a lot of dirt in your eyes and ears. What have you been doing? Right. It's because you fell into a ditch. Of course. So agile. You're the most useless I have turned. I think by such a large margin that we would usually just keep people like you just as food. And yet, I really thought you had potential. A grave miscalculation on my part. Last time I told you that you had hairy ears and it disgusted me, and you've done nothing about it. Do you just live to displease me and inconvenience me? Don't answer that. I think maybe I will turn you into a bug after this. And just find somebody else. You didn't have much of a life before this, so I think you'll still find it an improvement. No, I'm not going to tend to your poorly knee. You're not a child, although you do love to be treated like one, don't you? Pathetic. You're not seriously in pain with that, are you? It's just a scratch. Gosh. I swear the new breed are getting worse and worse. That would simply tickle back in my day. Maybe you just like to complain and vex me. I swear you must be some cruel joke or a test of my patience, and, well, you are testing my patience. There. Right, any other complaints before we ship you off? Well, there is a castle nearby that you could potentially steal from. And when I say nearby, it's about a week's trek, and I will be just positively famished by then. But there is quite a lot. They have massive storage units, so they're very efficient, in fact. They must have a whole army of rodents like you sent out to get their food. Maybe it might be worth having a look. Okay, new plan. I suppose I will have to go out and get food myself at some point. But in the meantime, you could probably go and check out the castle. There is, however, only one entrance I can think of that you will fit through. So I'm going to have to measure you to make sure. I used to play at this castle when I was, well, probably 100 years ago, which isn't that long, but I do remember it quite well. So I'm going to have to measure you, because you are big and dumb. And I'm not sure you are going to fit. You big dummy head. But lucky to get that through. Okay. We might need to tape your ears to the side because they do stick out. I'm gonna have to tape your whole head up, I believe. Might have to tape you up into a little ball and just shove you in. This is gonna be tricky. Okay, I was actually just lying about turning you into a bug. We can't actually do that. Otherwise, obviously I would have done that. No, there's quite a few myths, actually, like garlic or whatever. Like, it's gross, but it doesn't really do anything. The cross is just dumb. It's just a cross, does nothing. Of course we could see our reflections. How do you think I applied this flawless makeup? Although I probably could do it without looking in a mirror now. I've done it so many times. Okay. Chest. Legs. Fine. Okay. So the issue is mainly that you just have a really big dummy head and your shoulders. So if we maybe try and squish you a bit. Squish. Okay. Might be able to shove you through. The other thing is when you get inside, they do have guard dogs. I don't really have anything to suggest you might get bit and die, but that's just the risk you're gonna have to take because the loot is so good. Right, okay, well, you're really tiring me. I need to lay down. So, yep, any questions? No? Okay, well, off you go then. Oh, wait. Do you need some of this? push your head back. Silly. Okay. Right. Okay, off you go.